Hello, YouTube divers. This is Water Dive 122, and I want to welcome you all to another episode of Magic Metal Mondays. So today we are going to be ranking the 10 studio albums from German power metal and rock opera legends, Avantasia. So Avantasia is a band that I've wanted to do for a very long time. They are led by their amazing composer and mastermind and singer, Tobias Sammet, who you all know from Ed Guy. And I will just say right off the bat, he just is way better on Avantasia than he is with Ed Guy, in my opinion. Avantasia also is a more consistent band than Ed Guy is. Ed Guy, I do have a few albums that I could probably do without. See my Ed Guy ranking for more details on that. But all 10 of Avantasia's albums are at the very least pretty good. And what makes them unique is that this is a whole team effort band. Tobias brings in a lot of guest musicians, whether it's vocalists or instrumentalists, from a variety of different power metal and hard rock and heavy metal bands. And they all get time in the spotlight here. And the way how Tobias just manages to arrange all these vocal parts, it is absolutely impressive. And it just makes me respect Tobias Sammet as a way more as a composer and arranger and orchestrator. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're not going to waste any more time. Let's get started. Coming in at number 10, we got the 2013 album, The Mystery of Time. So this is the only album that features Jolyn Turner on vocals, as well as Biff Byford. Byford was a part of Saxon, and Jolyn Turner sang for Rainbow after Dio left, and on one of Yngwie Malmsteen's albums, The Odyssey. And it's also... and those are the only two new guest vocalists on the album. But then you also have a lot of Avantasia vets like Bob Catley of Magnum and Michael Kiske of Helloween, who's been a longtime collaborator with Toby. And then one of Avantasia's session vocalists, Cloudy Yang. But I don't think that The Mystery of Time is a bad album. I think it's just a little bit too long for what it needs to be. And no disrespect to Jolyn Turner or Biff Byford, I just don't really think they are the best fit for this band. And I think Toby might have also thought about that as well, because after this album, they don't appear on another Avantasia record again. But there are definitely some great tracks on this album. You have Spectres, which is a fantastic album opener. Great vocal performance from Jolyn Turner. You have Dweller in a Dream. You have Black Orchid. Pretty good vocal performance from Biff Byford. Where Clock Hands Freeze has one of Michael Kiske's best vocal performances ever. Love that song. You have Sleepwalking, which is a nice little softer song with Cloudy Yang as the guest vocalist here. And then you have two very strong epic songs. You have Savior and the Clockwork, which features the new singers as well as Michael Kiske. And then my favorite song on the album has to go to the other 10-minute epic, The Great Mystery, which features another Avantasia veteran vocalist, Bob Catley of Magnum. But overall, The Mystery of Time is a very good album, but I just simply think other records are better. And also, coming right off the heels of the Wicked trilogy to this, it just feels kind of jarring, if you ask me. But overall, Mystery of Time, very solid album. Just coming in now at number 9, we've got the follow-up album, Ghost Lights, from 2016. This is already a big step up from The Mystery of Time. The Mystery of Time is really the only record that I don't really have any interest of returning to again, even though I did like the record. But Ghost Lights, like from here on out, all these albums I would absolutely love to return to again. But Ghost Lights has just amazing songs and a whole new lineup of vocalists here. You have Marco Haitala of Nightwish, formerly of Nightwish. You have Dee Snider of Twisted Sister. You have another Avantasia session vocalist, Herbie Langens. And then you have more veteran talent coming back here. You have Michael Kiske, obviously. You have Ronnie Atkins of Pretty Maids, and Jorn Lande of Master Plan. And then you also have the return of Sharon Dinadell on one track of Within Temptation. This is the first time she's been on an Avantasia record since the Metal Opera, first Metal Opera album. And all of these songs just feel way more cohesive and way more apparent than those on The Mystery of Time. You have songs like Master of the Pendulum, Isle of Evermore, Mystery of a Blood Red Rose, the title track, Ghost Lights, and then Unchain the Light. We got to talk about this song. This has one of Michael Kiske's best vocal performances, with or without Halloween. My God, he is just absolutely soaring on this number. Love this song. Excuse me. Then you have Lucifer, A Restless Heart and Obsidian Skies, The Haunting, Draconian Love, with a great bass vocal line from Herbie Langens. Very nice. And then my favorite song on the album has to go to the 12-minute epic, Let the Storm Descend Upon You, featuring Jorn Lande of Master Plan. What a freaking masterpiece of a song this is. This is easily one of the best epic songs that Toby has written in his life, and that includes the epic songs that he wrote for Ed Guy as well. But yeah, overall, Ghost Lights is an awesome album, but I just like other records better. So with that said, Ghost Lights comes in here at number 9. Number 8, we've got the latest studio album, Here Be Dragons, from 2025. So this album came out back in February of this year, and I was a little bit warned about this record. I was told that it just did not hold up to the standards that a lot of the previous records have established, and I would definitely have to agree. Like, this record doesn't really feel as cohesive or as glossy or shiny as records like Moonglow or A Paranormal Evening with the Moonflower Society or something like that. But as a standalone record on its own, it's a very strong album, and it also features some brand new vocal talent. You have both of the Camelot singers on this record. You have Tommy Karavik, the current Camelot singer, and Roy Khan, who sang for Camelot in the late 90s and throughout the 2000s. And yeah, love the Camelot representation on this album right off the bat. I'm just going to say that. Then, of course, you still have Michael Kiske, Ronnie Atkins, and Jeff Tate of Queensryche, who has been with the band pretty much since Moonglow, I believe. And then you also have Adrian Cowan, another one of Avantasia's session vocalists, and one of their backup singers when they go on tour. But my favorite tracks from Here Be Dragons, you have The Witch, which has one of Tommy Karavik's best vocal performances ever. And that includes a good chunk of the material he made with Camelot. You have Unleash the Kraken, which is just a very strong song with an absolutely epic chorus. You have Avalon, which features Adrian Cowan, and her voice is really good. Like, I'm glad Toby kept her around. Then you have The Moorlands at Twilight, which, again, has one of Michael Kiske's best vocal performances. Phantasmagoria is a great song. The title track is great. Creep Show is a killer opening track. And then my favorite song has to go to the closer. Everybody's here until the end. You want to talk about very strong vocal performances? Roy Khan absolutely steals the show. This song just proves that even in 2025, he is still one of the best singers ever. Absolutely love his performance on here. Same can be said with Toby, of course, but come on. It's Roy Khan. What more do you want me to say? And don't worry, you'll hear from him later on. But yeah, overall, Here Be Dragons, pretty good album. Pretty good album. It comes in here number 8. Number 7, this one's going to be pretty controversial. I've got their sophomore studio album, Metal Opera Part 2 from 2002. So I will concede that this is definitely one of the best power metal albums to come out of the early 2000s. But in the context of Avantasia's whole entire discography, I just feel like this album just, I don't really know. It just doesn't really hit like some of their other records have. And that's mainly just a testament to how consistent of a discography Avantasia has. But Metal Opera Part 2 has a lot of amazing songs. You have The Looking Glass, Neverland, Memory, and then 2 just absolutely amazing ballads. Anywhere and in Quest for, both songs are just absolutely insane. You have The Final Sacrifice, which features David Defice, Virgin Steel. And then you have Chalice of Agony, which, truth be told, was the very first Avantasia song I ever heard in a live video from an Ed Guy set, of all places. But yeah, Chalice of Agony, great song with great vocal performances from Andre Matos of Angra. I will always associate him with Angra, even though he wasn't in the band at this point. And then Kai Hansen of Halloween and Gamma Ray. But none of those songs compare to the best song on the album, the 14-minute epic opus, The Seven Angels, which features a plethora of vocal talent. I'm not going to name all of them because we just simply don't have time to, but The Seven Angels is an absolute masterpiece of a song. But it's really just the one song on the record, along with Chalice of Agony, that I really, really enjoyed and would come back to time and time again. The rest of the tracks are great, but yeah, Seven Angels and Chalice of Agony are definitely the 2 best tracks on the record. And as a result, I just feel like the record just isn't very cohesive or very nuanced or majestic like its predecessor was. More on that later. But yeah, overall, Metal Opera Part 2, very good album, but they have better records in my opinion. So Metal Opera Part 2 comes in here number 7. Number 6, we got the 2019 album, Moonglow. So this is definitely a very strong record, so I'm just going to list off all of the tracks that we have here. My favorite tracks are Lavender, Starlight, Requiem for a Dream, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Alchemy, Book of Shallows, Ghost in the Moon, and The Raven Child. Those 2 songs are just masterpiece epic songs, featuring vocal contributions from Blind Guardian's Hansi Kirsch, or at least on The Raven Child. And then my favorite song has to go to the title track, Moonglow, which features Candice Night of Blackmore's Night. Seriously, this is one of their best songs overall. I absolutely love this title track. And I love the music video as well. Shout out the music video as well. But yeah, overall, Moonglow, fantastic record, comes in here at number 6. Number 5, we've got the 2008 album, The Scarecrow. So this is the first of 3 records that are part of what is commonly referred to as the Wicked trilogy. The Scarecrow kicks it off, and My goodness gracious, this album is a fantastic start to this trilogy, but as we're gonna get to later on, I prefer the other two records, but we'll talk about that later. Um, but yeah, this album is just consistently great from start to finish. You have Twisted Mind, which features Roy Khan, and again, killer performance. He was in his element at this point. Another Angel Down, Carry Me Over, which has a very fun chorus. Shelter from the Rain's a great song. Cry Just a Little More has to be one of their best ballads ever. And then my favorite song, come on, you know what it is. The 11-minute title track, The Scarecrow. One of Avantasia's best songs to date, with probably the best chorus that Toby has ever written. And that includes the songs from Ed Guy as well. It is just so majestic, so powerful, so punchy. The Scarecrow is just a masterpiece of a song. And Scarecrow in general is just a very good album. So, yeah, with that said, Scarecrow comes in here at number 5. All right, now, number 4. This one's going to be pretty controversial, so I'm going to be ready for it. So, number 4 is A Paranormal Evening with the Moonflower Society from 2022. Their most bombastic album, their shiniest album, their glossiest album. Just, they're a very fun album from start to finish. I had an absolute blast listening to this album. And this is another one of the best power metal albums to come out within the last, like, 5 or 6 years or something. Absolutely, absolutely love this album. All the songs are killer. You have Misplaced Among the Angels, which has Floor Jansen of Nightwish, one of her best vocal performances ever. The Moonflower Society, Welcome to the Shadows, one of their best album openers. The Wicked Rule of Night, which features an absolutely bloodthirsty vocal performance from Ralph Sheeper's Primal Fear. You have Rhyme and Reason, which is a great rock song. I Tame the Storm's a great song. Arabesque is another amazing epic song. But then my favorite song has to go to The Inmost Light, which features Michael Kiske. No surprise. This, honest to God, might have my favorite Michael Kiske vocal performance outside of Halloween. I am being dead serious. This song just gets me every single time. This just gives me goosebumps every time. Absolutely love The Inmost Light. Such a masterpiece. But overall, A Paranormal Evening with the Moonflower Society is just a freaking amazing album. There's no filler on the album, if I do say so myself. This album is fantastic. I absolutely love it. So with that said, A Paranormal Evening with the Moonflower Society comes in here at number 4. Okay, so these last 3 records are records that I think many Avantasia fans would put near the top, or maybe not with this next pick, but the other 2 especially. So number 3, I have the 2010 album, Angel of Babylon. Well, I should say one of their 2010 albums, because Avantasia released 2 albums on the same day in 2010. I'll talk about the other album later. But Angel of Babylon, this is the most entertaining album Avantasia has ever released. There are so many amazing and catchy hard rock bops on this record. And, I love me some hard rock. I love me some classic heavy metal and AOR stuff. And Angel of Babylon is just one of those amazing records. It shows Toby showing a lot of diversity within his composition, and I know he tried to do something similar to what this album did on some of the surrounding records from both Ed Guy and Avantasia, but quite honestly, they don't get as entertaining as what Angel of Babylon gives us. So the title track is just a freaking amazing hard rock song with a very cool synthesizer part. You have Death is Just a Feeling, which features John Oliva of Sabotage, and this is one of their darkest and most evil sounding songs. I love it. And John's vocal performance, chef's kiss. Then you have Symphony of Life on the other track, which features Cloudy Yang. Sounds great as always. You have Alone I Remember, which is one of their most popular songs. Love this one. You have Blowing Out the Flame, which is one of their best ballads ever, if not their best. It's kind of up there. More on that later. Then you have Rat Race, which is a fantastic rock song, very much reminiscent of tracks like I Can or Why from Halloween, for example. Then you have Stargazers, which is just a wonderful 9-minute power metal epic. Love that song. And then speaking of epics, the closing 7.5 mini epic, Journey to Arcadia, is my favorite song on the album and one of the best Avantasia songs ever. Especially in that chorus, goosebumps every time. This is also the only Avantasia album that has contributions from Russell Allen of Symphony X. Sounds really good. Sounds really good on this album. But there we go. That was Angel of Babylon, a freaking excellent record from this band, one of the best. All right, so now number 2 and number 1 honestly could change in any given day, but there's a reason for why I have them the way they are. So number 2 is their debut album, Metal Opera Part 1 from 2001. This is one of the best debut albums ever. This is right up there with Ecliptica by Sonata Arctica in terms of my favorite debut album ever. And it was very close. I still prefer Ecliptica, just by a hair. But Metal Opera Part 1, everything that I love about Ecliptica is pretty much present on Metal Opera Part 1, even though they were made by 2 different bands. Every song on this album is just majestic. If you want some classic early 2000s European power metal, you can't go wrong with Metal Opera Part 1. You have Farewell, The Glory of Rome, Reach Out for the Light, which is just one of their best songs. Serpents in Paradise, freaking fantastic song. You have Inside, another one of their best ballads. You have The Tower, one of their best mini epics. You have the self-titled Avantasia track, which is fantastic. And then my favorite song on the album has to go to Breaking Away, featuring Michael Kiske of Halloween. Again, this song is just a killer power metal hard rock song. It's just everything that I love about Avantasia. It's on this song. I love this song, and I love this album, Metal Opera Part 1. Fantastic record from start to finish. But it's only here at number 2. So what could possibly be better? Well, let's go ahead and find out, shall we? So now we have finally reached it. Number 1, Process of Elimination. If you're an Avantasia fan, you know what album is left, and that is the 2010 album, The Wicked Symphony, or their other record from 2010. God, this is the darkest, the heaviest, the meanest, the most evil sounding Avantasia record to date. I mean, it's literally in the title. This album is absolutely wicked from start to finish. It very much reminds me of The Dark Ride by Halloween in terms of how dark and heavy and evil it is. It'll just kick you right in the stomach from start to finish. And all of these songs are top notch. All of these songs are top notch. This is one of the best power metal albums ever made. Absolutely love this record. So let's just go ahead and talk about all the songs, shall we? We got Blizzard on a Broken Mirror, which is chef's kiss power metal at its finest. Scales of Justice, another one of their most dissonant songs, featuring Tim Ripper Owens on vocals. It's just so good. Runaway Train is one of their best power ballads, and it's a long one too, so you better have your tissues ready if you're that sensitive. Then you have Wastelands, which is just a great power metal song. Another great vocal performance from Michael Kiske. Crestfallen's a great song. Black Wings is awesome. The Edge, to close off the record, is fantastic. The title track, The Wicked Symphony, is one of their best epics ever. without question. Then you have Forever is a Long Time and States of Matter. Both songs are absolutely killer, which shows the vocal talents of Jorn Lande and Russell Allen at their finest. But then my favorite song on the album and my favorite Avantasia song overall, Dying for an Angel, featuring Klaus Meine of the Scorpions. This song is a masterpiece. This is everything that I love about Avantasia, especially in this era. This is just a masterpiece of a song. The Wicked Symphony, a masterpiece of an album. Go listen to it if you haven't already. It is a freaking amazing record. So yeah, this was a very long video. Sorry about that. But that was my Avantasia album rankings. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. That concludes another episode of Magic Metal Mondays. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterEye122 signing out, ready to dive and more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.